The truth is finally being revealed about a potential Kevin Durant return to Oklahoma City, along with the truth being exposed about a horrendous take by an ESPN analyst about the Oklahoma City Thunder in this first round matchup. What up? It's Bryson Akins here with Thunder Digest. Before we get into all this though, like always, just want to mention this real quick. 91% of you guys coming back and watching these videos are not subscribed to the channel. If you guys find yourself coming back, it would mean a lot if you hit that subscribe button. It's the best way to stay up to date when a new video drops. Whenever you pop on YouTube and you're subscribed to the channel, one of my videos will always be there for your recommended. So if you love these videos and keep coming back, go ahead and hit that subscribe button to support the channel and to stay up to date when a new Thunder Digest video drops. Now, we'll go ahead and get into it. Yep, you heard it right. I made a video about this for a potential KD return. However, it's not looking likely as there are some updates on the KD reunion rumors. Now, some of them have to do with his contract and some of them have to do with the situation he's currently in with Phoenix after they just got swept by the Minnesota Timberwolves, by the way. Who would have thought? It's just KD, Bradley Beal, and Devin Booker weren't able to get one playoff win together. That big three couldn't get one against Minnesota. It's shocking to look at that, but when you look at some of the reasons that this return isn't very likely, first you got to look at this. Starting July 8th, Durant can extend his contract. He has 2 years, $106 million left on his hefty deal. And so when you look at that, a buyout, if he wants to come back this year, the Suns would have to pay $106 million for him to come back. If the Suns and Durant want to, they can add 1 year for just under $60 million for the 2026-2027 season when Durant will be 38. However, how interested the Suns and Durant are in doing so creates a natural checkpoint in the relationship and something that will be closely watched elsewhere in the league. If there's no deal for whatever reason, it will not project confidence in the future of the relationship. And so it's not confirmed that he's going to try to go back to Phoenix and try to sign a 1 year extension with them and probably retire, but it's also looking likely that he won't be leaving there and he's going to try to stay in Phoenix and finish his career out there. And when you look at the contract, it is a hefty contract. As you look here, when he becomes a free agent at the age of 38, he'll still be demanding anywhere from 45 to 50 million probably, which is what I think is a little out of his pay range. I think that's a little bit too much for Durant at that age. Yes, he's still going to be one of the better players, but with his history of injuries and just how players progress when they get to that age, how they regress there, it doesn't look like it's worth $45 million for the Thunder. And it's just one of those things where the salary, it's not going to match up with what OKC is going to be able to offer if we want to keep some of our young core, such as J-Dub, Chet, Shai, even Lou Dort and Giddey, some of our bench players and Wiggins and Joe and J. Will. Those guys, if we want to go get Durant, we're going to have to sacrifice two of them to go get Durant, and I just don't think it's worth it at that point. And also, when you look at it right now, he's kind of digressing just a tad bit. He's not like he was in Brooklyn or Golden State. Now, his points per game may say otherwise. It's just you can kind of tell on the floor he's not as spry as he used to, especially after an injury last season. He's just not at that point where we thought he would be. And he was also injured for a whole season, by the way, with an Achilles injury. That also plays into how he's been regressing a little bit. He had a great year in Brooklyn in 2021-2022 with just under 30 points per game, along in 2022 and 2023. So he had good seasons there, but it was also in a weaker Eastern Conference compared to the Western Conference, how tough it's usually been, especially the past 2 years. And you can kind of see with those Phoenix stats how they went down a little bit, even though really I'd still consider him the number one option for that Phoenix team, especially since he played majority of those games compared to Booker or Beal. It just doesn't look likely that he's going to be able to keep up the style of play he's been able to, and it looks like his points per games are going to drop down. His efficiency is going to drop down, and he's not what he used to be on defense as well, just because once you, it's just natural. Once you get up in age, you're not as athletic and mobile as you used to be, and you can see it on the court when he plays. He's playing a little bit slower now, unlike the days of old, even 5-6 years ago with the Warriors, where he was still athletic and spry, getting into his 30s. It's just now you're able to tell he's not the player he used to be, and I just don't think it's worth it for the Thunder anymore, and it just doesn't look as likely when you look at the contract and how willing he is to try to go and get an extension. So that's a little update that we have on the trade rumors. However, now I do want to talk about this because I've been seeing it pop off on Twitter, Instagram, all over social media, and it's about how the Thunder are proving the media wrong, and specifically one little take that I saw by a former Thunder player, by the way. He used to play for the Thunder, and he's saying this about the team. This is what got my mind blown about it. Yeah, this one right here. Kendrick Perkins tweeting out before the series started, might have been a blessing in disguise that the Pelicans dropped those 2 games against the Lakers, getting this 8th seed because they have a legit shot of beating the Thunder without Zion. Carry on. Kendrick, how's that looking right now? Let's look at it, Kendrick. How is that take looking at the moment? It's not looking very good for you, buddy. It's not. As you know, we're up 3-0 in the series. The only game that's been close was the first one when it was 94-92 score, and that was just to get the playoff jitters out of the way and get used to the playoffs. Ever since then, we have been dominating the series. We have been holding them to 1980, 1990s type of scoring for their offense. 90 points a game, 85 points a game. They're not able to score against us, and this offense is a good offense there in New Orleans with scorers like Brandon Ingram and CJ McCollum. When we're limiting them like we are right now, as you can see here in this article, the top-seeded Thunder enter the playoffs answering a lot of questions about the relative youth and inexperience on its roster. And that appeared justified after a 2-point escape at home in Game 1 against the 8th-seeded Pelicans. That was the only worry that the media still had afterwards, and after that, it just kind of went away. As you can see, since then, the Thunder have posted victory margins of 32 in Game 2 and 21 in Game 3, in no small part because of a relentless defensive effort that has kept the Pelicans to 92 or fewer points in all 3 games of the series. And it won't surprise me if they're held under 90 points again tonight. We are ready to play. Thunder coach Mark Daigneault said, our physicality again, our defense, and focus on that end of the floor was really, really good. Made them earn everything, and I thought that set the tone. Oklahoma City hit 17 of 36, 47% from three-point range, and held a lead of 10 points or more throughout the second half, going up as many as 24 in the fourth quarter. By then, this is what really stood out to me about how we're proving the media wrong and how much support we do have for this team this year. By then, a contingent of Thunder fans could be heard chanting OKC as New Orleans fans filed out. We adjusted really well to the flow of the game. We got good looks, Giddey said. They threw a lot of different looks at us, but we got a lot of weapons on the floor at all times. So guys made the right play that made the extra pass. And that kind of shows how deadly this team is and how we're proving the media wrong, is because not only are we set offensively, as we knew with our bench guys as well, as they could play offense, one of the worries was the defense. Could we physically handle what the playoffs is like? And we're kind of manhandling guys right now with how physical we are on defense. We're seeing Dort jump over guys to try to go get a loose ball. Josh Giddey's getting physical on defense. J-Will isn't afraid to take charges. Chet's going up for blocks, and he's not scared to get postered, as he has 11 blocks in the series already. And so the physicality is kind of making up for this answer of people worrying about the playoff inexperience and thinking that the Pelicans could beat us first round. Are you kidding me? Having the Pelicans beat us first round? I'm sorry, Kendrick. That was one of the worst takes you ever had, and you have some pretty bad ones. I'm sorry to go at you like this since you are a Thunder guy, but come on, man. You gotta be kidding me now. And now the media is actually on our side. As you guys saw a glimpse of that as I pressed the wrong button there. I got giant stubby fingers. You know how it is. And so, but you saw it here in this article real quick that I had up for a slight second. According to ESPN Analytics, the projected finals matchup is us and the Celtics. And so now it's going from, they used to hate us and think we weren't getting it past the first round, to all of a sudden now they have us in the finals. The only guy I've seen supporting this Thunder team throughout this entire time is Stephen A. Smith, and that has surprised me that he is the guy that's supporting this team. Not a Shannon Sharp, not a Brian Windhorst, not even a Kendrick Perkins. It was Stephen A. Smith who's been supporting us and saying we're legit and not having doubts about us. And that's crazy to think about. Stephen A. Smith is the voice of reason for why the Thunder are going to make it all the way, instead of a Brian Windhorst or Shannon Sharp or any of those other guys that Colin Cowherd. Like, it's insane to think about. It's like, he's the voice of reason, and he's the only one that's been backing us up since the beginning of the playoffs. And so it's nice to see us proving Kendrick Perkins wrong along with some other guys, and it's nice to see us actually getting acclimated to the playoffs and playing like we did in the regular season, as well as seeing some of our guys taking their performances in the regular season finally into the playoffs and maybe even playing better, as Dort's been insane on defense this series. So that's all I got for this Thunder Digest video. Like I mentioned, If you guys keep on coming back and watching these videos, doesn't hurt to hit the subscribe button. That way when you get on YouTube, my video pops up first for you. That way you don't got to look it up again. So like I mentioned, you keep on coming back, hit the subscribe button. Best way to support the channel. I'll catch you guys in the next video.